I still remember the way Olympia looked on our wedding day 12 years ago. She wore a simple white dress, nothing fancy. But to me, she was the most beautiful woman in the world. We built a life together in a three-bedroom house outside Denver, Colorado. We had two amazing kids, Emma, who is now 10, and Lucas, who is 8. I thought our love could survive anything. Then she met a man named Derek at her new job. 2 years ago, she packed her bags and walked out on us. 2 weeks ago, she came back begging for forgiveness. But some things once broken can never be fixed again. Before I share what happened, I would love to know where you are watching from today. Drop your location in the comments below. If this story touches your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now let me take you back to where everything started falling apart. For the first 10 years of our marriage life felt like a beautiful dream. I worked as a construction engineer, which meant long hours and sometimes traveling to different job sites across the state. Olympia worked as an accountant at a small firm just 15 minutes from our house. The pay was modest, but the schedule allowed her to be home when the kids got back from school. Our house was not big or fancy, but it was ours. 3 bedrooms, a small backyard with a swing set I built myself, and a kitchen where we made memories every single day. Sunday mornings were sacred in our family. I would wake up early, mix the pancake batter, and by the time Olympia and the kids came downstairs, the whole house smelled like butter and maple syrup. Emma always wanted chocolate chips in hers. Lucas preferred his plain with extra syrup. Friday nights were movie nights. The four of us would pile onto the couch with blankets and popcorn. We let the kids take turns picking the movie, which meant we watched a lot of animated films. I did not mind. Seeing their faces light up during their favorite scenes was worth more than any adult movie I could have chosen. Emma was our little artist. She spent hours drawing pictures, and her favorite subject was our family. She would present her artwork to me like it was a masterpiece hanging in a museum. In her drawings, we were always holding hands, standing in front of our house with a big yellow sun in the corner. I kept every single one of those drawings in a box in my closet. Lucas was my shadow. He wanted to be an engineer like his dad. Whenever I worked on projects around the house, he would stand beside me holding tools, asking 1,000 questions about how things worked. He had this plastic hard hat I bought him at a construction supply store, and he wore it everywhere. Olympia was the glue that held us together. She packed my lunch every morning, always including a little note that said something like, "Have a great day," or "I love you." She read bedtime stories to the kids every night, doing different voices for each character. When I came home tired from work, she would rub my shoulders and tell me everything would be okay. I truly believed we had something unbreakable. 3 years ago, everything began to shift. Olympia received a job offer from a larger construction company downtown. They wanted her as their senior accountant, and the salary was nearly double what she was making. It was an opportunity she could not pass up, and I encouraged her to take it. "This is amazing," I told her when she showed me the offer letter. "You have worked so hard. You deserve this." She hugged me tight and said, "Thank you for always believing in me." I took on more responsibilities at home to support her transition. I started cooking dinner most nights, helping with homework and handling bedtime routines when she worked late. I did not mind. Marriage is a partnership, and I wanted her to succeed. At first, the changes were subtle. She started leaving for work earlier to beat traffic. She came home later because of meetings that ran long. She talked about her new colleagues, especially a man named Derek, who was the head of the sales department. "Derek is so smart," she would say. "He really understands the business side of things. Everyone respects him." I thought nothing of it. I was glad she had mentors and colleagues who could help her grow in her new role. But after about 6 months, I started noticing things that made me uncomfortable. Olympia began buying new clothes, things she never would have worn before. Tight dresses, high heels, expensive blouses. She started wearing makeup every day, something she rarely did when she worked at her old job. Her phone became an extension of her hand. She carried it everywhere, even to the bathroom. Whenever she set it down, it was always face down. Sometimes I would see her smiling at text messages late at night, but when I asked who she was talking to, she would say it was just work stuff. Team building events started happening almost every weekend. Happy hours on Fridays. Corporate retreats that required overnight stays. I told myself it was normal for a demanding job. I trusted her completely. After 10 years of marriage, I had no reason not to. One evening, Emma asked me a question that stopped me cold. Daddy, why does mommy always look at her phone instead of us? I did not have a good answer. I just smiled and said, Mommy has a very important job, sweetheart. She is working hard for our family. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted. The truth revealed itself on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon about 2 years ago. Olympia had rushed out the door that morning and left her iPad on the kitchen counter. Lucas wanted to play his favorite game, so I opened it up and handed it to him. That is when I saw the notifications. Messages from Derek. Dozens of them. The iPad was synced to her phone and every text message was right there on the screen. My hands trembled as I scrolled through months of conversations. Love notes, plans to meet at hotels during lunch breaks, photos I wish I could erase from my memory. Derek telling my wife that I was boring, that I was holding her back, that she deserved a man who could give her the life she truly wanted. And Olympia's responses destroyed me. I know. I am just waiting for the right time. I do not love him anymore. I sat down on the kitchen floor, my back against the cabinets, staring at the screen. In the living room, I could hear Emma and Lucas laughing at something on television. They had no idea that their father's world had just collapsed. That night, after the kids were asleep, I confronted Olympia. I placed the iPad on the table between us and asked her to explain. Her first instinct was to lie. It is nothing, she said, barely looking at the screen. Just jokes between coworkers. You are reading too much into it. I opened the messages and read them aloud. Her face went pale. Marcus, let me explain. Explain what? That you have been sleeping with another man, that you told him you do not love me anymore. She started crying, but her tears felt hollow. There was no apology in her eyes, only frustration at being caught. You are never here, she said. You work all the time. You do not understand me. Derek actually listens to me. He makes me feel special. I work to provide for this family. I changed my entire schedule so you could take that job. And this is how you repay me. She shook her head. See, this is exactly what Derek warned me about. You always make everything my fault. You are so controlling. I could not believe what I was hearing. Derek had not only stolen my wife, he had poisoned her mind against me. I begged her to end the affair. I suggested marriage counseling. I asked her to quit her job or at least transfer to a different department. I was willing to do anything to save our family. Olympia refused everything. You are trying to control me, she kept saying. Derek was right about you. Over the following weeks, Olympia began repeating Derek's words like they were her own thoughts. You trapped me with these kids. I gave up my youth for this family. I deserve to be happy for once in my life. She stopped being a mother. The bedtime stories ended. She forgot to pick up Lucas from school twice, and I had to call our neighbor in a panic to get him. She missed Emma's art show at school, even though Emma had been talking about it for weeks. Emma stopped drawing pictures of our family with 4 people. Her new drawings only showed 3 figures. When I asked her where Mommy was, she just shrugged and said, Mommy is always busy. I tried everything I could think of to bring Olympia back. I cooked her favorite meals. I bought flowers every week. I wrote her a long letter pouring out my heart, explaining how much I loved her and how much our family needed her. She threw the flowers in the trash right in front of me. The letter sat unopened on her nightstand for days before she finally tossed it away. I felt like I was fighting for someone who had already left. The day Olympia officially walked out was a Saturday morning. I was in the kitchen making pancakes with Emma and Lucas. The smell of butter filled the air, and the kids were laughing because Lucas had gotten flour on his nose. Then I heard the sound of a suitcase rolling across the hardwood floor. Olympia stood at the bottom of the stairs with 2 large bags. She was dressed nicely, her hair done, makeup perfect. She looked like she was going on a vacation, not abandoning her family. Emma saw her first. Mommy, where are you going? Olympia did not look at her. She kept her eyes on the door. Mommy needs to go. Daddy will take care of you. Lucas ran to her and wrapped his little arms around her legs. Please do not leave, Mommy, please. I will be good. I promise I will be good. My heart shattered watching my son beg his mother to stay. Olympia looked down at him for a moment. I thought maybe, just maybe, she would change her mind. that she would see what she was doing to her children and snap out of whatever spell Derek had put on her. Instead, she gently removed his hands from her legs and walked out the front door. Through the window, I saw Derek waiting in his car. Olympia got in without looking back. The pancakes burned on the stove. The smoke alarm started screaming. Emma and Lucas were crying. I sank to my knees and held them both, my own tears falling into their hair. "It is going to be okay," I whispered, though I did not believe it myself. "Daddy is here. Daddy is not going anywhere." The months that followed were the darkest of my life. Emma stopped talking at school. Her teacher called me multiple times, concerned about her sudden silence. Lucas started wetting the bed again, something he had not done since he was 4 years old. I requested to work from home so I could be there for them every moment. Every night after the kids fell asleep, I would sit alone in the dark living room, replaying every moment of my marriage, wondering what I did wrong. Wondering if I could have loved her better, worked less, been more attentive. The guilt was suffocating, even though I knew logically that none of this was my fault. Olympia never called. Not once. She never asked how the kids were doing, never sent a birthday card, never checked if they were okay. But she posted constantly on social media: photos from Paris, beach selfies from Cancun, fancy dinners in Las Vegas, always with Derek by her side, both of them smiling like they did not have a care in the world. One evening, Emma found one of these photos while using my phone. "Daddy, why is Mommy smiling with that man?" She never smiled like that with us. I took the phone from her hands and held her close. "I do not know, baby. Sometimes grown-ups make choices that do not make sense." That night after Emma fell asleep, I blocked Olympia on every social media platform. The kids did not need to see that. The second year was about rebuilding. I took Emma and Lucas to see a child psychologist who specialized in family trauma. Slowly, carefully, we started putting the pieces back together. We kept our traditions alive. Sunday morning pancakes, Friday night movies. I learned how to braid Emma's hair, though my first attempts were laughably bad. She giggled at my crooked braids and said she loved them anyway. Lucas started smiling again. He helped me cook dinner every night, standing on his little step stool to stir the sauce or wash vegetables. He stopped asking when Mommy was coming home. I filed for divorce. Olympia signed the papers without contest. She did not want custody of the children. She did not want anything except her freedom to be with Derek. The court granted me full custody. I felt relieved but also profoundly sad. These were her children too. How could she give them up so easily? My mother moved to a house just 10 minutes away to help out. Neighbors brought over casseroles and offered to babysit. Friends I had not spoken to in years reached out to check on me. I realized that even though Olympia had abandoned us, we were not alone. Emma started drawing family pictures again. This time there were 3 people in every drawing, but they were all smiling. In the corner of one picture, she wrote "My family" in crayon. I hung it on the refrigerator where Olympia used to post grocery lists. We were healing. 2 weeks ago, I was waiting outside Emma's school to pick her up when I saw a figure standing near the entrance gate. It was Olympia. She looked nothing like the glamorous woman from those social media photos. She was thin, almost gaunt. Dark circles surrounded her eyes. Her clothes were wrinkled, her hair unwashed. She looked like someone who had been through a war and lost. Emma came out of the school building, saw her mother, and immediately grabbed my hand tight. She did not run to her. She did not smile. She pressed herself against my side like she was trying to disappear. Lucas came out moments later. When he saw Olympia, he hid behind me, peeking out with wide, frightened eyes. Olympia started crying. "Marcus, please, I need to talk to you. I made a terrible mistake." "Not here," I said. "Not in front of the kids." That evening after dinner, my mother took Emma and Lucas to their rooms while Olympia sat at our kitchen table. The same table where we used to share meals as a family. The same table where I had confronted her about the affair 2 years earlier. She told me everything. Derek had left her. Apparently, he had met someone else at work, a younger woman from a wealthy family. He discarded Olympia like she was nothing. "He told me I was getting too old," she said through her tears. "He said I was not fun anymore. Can you believe that after everything I gave up for him?" She lost her job too. Derek was a senior executive and he made sure she was pushed out. The savings she had accumulated were gone, spent on expensive trips and gifts for Derek. She had been couch surfing at various friends' apartments for the past 3 months. I have nowhere to go, she sobbed. I have nothing left. I was so stupid, Marcus. Derek lied to me about everything. He said you were holding me back. He said I deserved better, and I believed him because I wanted to believe him. She reached across the table to grab my hands. Please, let me come home. Let me make things right. I will do anything. I will go to therapy. I will spend every day earning back your trust. Just please give me another chance. I looked at this woman I had once loved more than anything. I remembered the girl in the white dress on our wedding day. I remembered the mother who read bedtime stories and packed lunches with little notes. And I mourned for who she used to be. But I also remembered Lucas begging her to stay. I remembered Emma going silent for 6 months. I remembered all those nights I held my children while they cried for a mother who never called. You did not just leave me, I said quietly. You left our children. You watched your 6-year-old son wrap himself around your legs and beg you not to go, and you pulled his hands off and walked out anyway. Olympia flinched like I had struck her. Emma stopped talking for 6 months, I continued. 6 months. Her teacher thought something was seriously wrong with her. Lucas started wetting the bed again. He thought it was his fault you left. He thought if he had been a better boy, you would have stayed. I did not know, she whispered. You did not know because you never asked. Not once in 2 years did you call to check on them. But you had time to post vacation photos from Paris. Olympia covered her face with her hands. I was selfish. I know that now. I was so caught up in Derek and his promises that I could not see what I was doing. But I have changed, Marcus. I swear I have changed. Before I could respond, the door to the hallway opened. Emma stood there, her face calm, but her eyes burning with something I had never seen in my 10-year-old daughter before. I used to wait for you, Emma said, her voice steady. Every night after you left, I would sit by the window and wait for your car to come back. I thought maybe you went to the store or something. I thought you would come back. Olympia reached toward her. Emma, sweetheart. I waited for months, and then I stopped. Daddy said we had to be strong. So I got strong. I stopped crying. I stopped waiting. I stopped needing you. Lucas appeared behind his sister, still hiding, still silent. He shook his head slowly when Olympia called his name. Please leave, Emma said. You are scaring Lucas. I stood up and walked to the front door. I forgive you, Olympia. I do. Not for your sake, but for mine. Holding on to anger was eating me alive, and I cannot let that happen anymore. She looked up at me with desperate hope in her eyes. But forgiveness does not mean I am letting you back into our lives. These kids spent 2 years healing from what you did. They are finally happy again. They feel safe. And I will never let anyone hurt them again. Not even their own mother. I opened the door. Olympia stood slowly. She looked at Emma and Lucas one more time, tears streaming down her face. Then she walked out. I closed the door behind her and turned to find my children standing in the hallway. I knelt down and opened my arms. They both ran to me and we held each other for a long time. Is she coming back? Lucas asked quietly. No, buddy, she is not. He nodded and buried his face in my shoulder. The following Sunday morning, the three of us stood in the kitchen making pancakes. Emma mixed the batter while Lucas carefully placed chocolate chips in a bowl. The radio played softly in the background and sunlight streamed through the windows. I looked at my children laughing and flour-dusted and perfectly imperfect, and I felt something I had not felt in a long time. Peace. Some people leave their families searching for happiness somewhere else. They chase dreams and promises that glitter like gold but turn to dust in their hands. And sometimes by the time they realize what they had, it is already gone. Olympia will have to live with her choices. I do not say that with anger or satisfaction. I say it with sadness for the woman she could have been and the mother she chose not to be. As for me and my children, we are going to be just fine. We have each other. We have our Sunday pancakes and Friday movie nights. We have a home filled with love, even if it is missing one person. And honestly, it does not feel like anything is missing at all. I want to ask you something before you go. Have you ever had to forgive someone who hurt you deeply, not because they deserved it, but because you deserved peace? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your story. If this video touched your heart, please give it a like. It helps more people find these stories. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of this community. Whatever you are going through right now, I hope you find the strength to protect your peace and the courage to keep moving forward. Take care of yourself and the people who truly love you. See you in the next one.